City. I'm a bully. Very. Let's turn this light down. I need to turn that light off. Stop recording. Alright. Where's this fucking link at? Niggas try to take the dog out. The whole time I'm still breathing. Damn, where's that dog? What's his name again? Oh, this is it, I think. Yes, Erskine. Oh shit. Let's turn that light off. Oh shit. Yo. What's going on, chat? I mean, what's going on, y'all? How do I turn my camera on?
Okay, my name is Alejandro. I'm a chess PD master. Gregory mentioned that you wanted some help, maybe.
Yes, bro. I'm ass.
2 or 3 tricks to make your play better. I was looking at some of your games, and I have a few recommendations already.
Yikes. So wait, hold on. Were you looking at them today or yesterday? Because today I was a little drunk. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I looked at a few, from the past 1 or 2 weeks. So
Oh, okay.
It should be good. It should be good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, let's do something. I need you to log into your chess.com account.
Okay.
And then I will send you an invite to the classroom that we use.
Alright, for sure. I got it loaded.
When you log in, you should see like a notification popping up on the right side. If not, you just need to go to the left side of the screen where you see learn. There is like a blue hat next to it, and then click on classroom. And then it should pop up there. Okay, once you're there, you should see the notification somewhere.
Okay, I see it. Yep.
Perfect. When you accept, you should be able to see the screen. I will also share the screen so Gregory can see what we are doing. Well, this first exercise is kind of a test, actually. And I use it to prove a point, pretty much, that I have like 2 or 3 ideas that are more like philosophical about chess, that I believe if you understand them, you can actually get your play to the next level. So my first question to you here is, we play as white. Well, the first question is, who do you think is better? Is it white? Is it black? And why? And you can mention like any ideas that you believe are relevant.
Yeah. I'm gonna say white for sure because it's more developed.
That's true. We see these 2 bishops are pretty good. We have a knight, a queen, rook's connected, or king is castled. But if we need to pick like one thing that really makes a difference, like the most important advantage, let's say we can actually say that's the king. The king is the most important piece in the chess game, right? And the whole objective is to checkmate it. And if we look at both kings, we can see that the white king is safely protected by pawns, the white pieces. There's not a single black attacker that's around. But the black king is stuck in the middle of the board. We have a bishop that's stopping the castle, right? All of this analysis is something we should do every time we are not like 100% familiarized with the position, and it can help us finding the best way to go. If the problem is the king, we must attack the king. Can you help me finding a move, or what move do you think is good here for white to try to achieve that goal?
I would just take the pawn on the e pawn with the horse.
With the knight?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Taking that pawn opens the file up, and it gives you a nice attack chance. And well, the truth is, even though the move is not 100% winning, it's a very good way to continue with the game. Maybe here black can try something like knight takes c5. You have a bunch of discover attacks that look interesting, like this one. It's a double check, forces the king to move. But we can agree that the game is not over. You are better, but the game is not over yet. Well, what if I told you that in this position there is a checkmate in 2? It's a checkmate that's very easy to miss. And it's easy to miss if you don't understand this idea. The best moves in the chess game are not obvious. The reason why I say this is a lot of people look at a position for 3 seconds, like Gregory here, and he just makes a move. Well, the truth is, if chess was that easy, everyone was a grandmaster. So we need to try to find like that hidden idea that really finishes the game and gives us the full win. And there are a few techniques we need to try. Maybe you've heard of the forcing moves. I always talk about this.
Mm.
Those are the checks, the captures, and the threats. Forcing moves are moves that you play and they provoke like a concrete reply from your opponent. Let me give you an example. If we play bishop e7, you can tell 100% that black will either take with the queen or the king.
Mm-hmm.
All of the other moves are kind of bad, right? Because the queen just gets taken. Again, I'm not saying bishop e7 is a good move. I'm just saying that it forces a concrete reply from black.
Right.
If we play, I don't know, rook takes f6, we are taking something, right? So we can anticipate that black will very likely capture with one of these three pieces. We are kind of reducing the list. Well, in the group of the forcing moves, the checks are the most forcing ones. If we try this move, bishop takes f7, again, we can tell 100% that that king will capture the bishop. There's no other solution. So
Mm.
why is this important? Because it gives you like this information that if you play this move, they are going to reply like this. And if you for some reason find something to their or to answer to their reply, you will actually get a very good position because you have uh, true information that that's going to happen. Well, the trick is simple. Look at every single one of the checks, even the ones that look bad, and that's how you find hidden ideas in the chess game. So if I tell you to look at every single check, what checks do you see in this position, even if they look bad?
Uh, well, queen taking the pawn, but that looks stupid.
It looks
Uh,
stupid, right? But again, let's slow down there for a second. Queen takes the pawn. Why is it stupid? Like, what's their move?
they could just take with the knight.
Exactly. So the key is not to stop. We continue. After they take with the knight, that's information we have. We haven't played it, but we're analyzing that if we go there, the knight will take. That's their only choice, or their only logical reply. Can you find me another check right after the knight takes?
Let's see. After the knight
We're
takes the
here.
queen
Uh-huh.
with the
Let's try
bishop,
to
light square
elaborate.
bishop on the
Where do we
f
see?
f7 pawn.
Okay, and what can they do? Since it's a check, replying to it should be easy. They have to stop the check, right?
Yeah, so they'll have to move.
Wait,
Probably like f8 or something. I mean, they don't have to, but they did. That could be a revealed check.
but can they actually go there?
Oh wait, no. Oh shit.
See, that's actually the magic of the forcing moves in calculation, and that's the first thing I wanted to show you. Sometimes we stop after this, oh, because we lose the queen. But if we don't play it, if we just think about it for a while, we can actually find what happens afterwards. If the knight takes e4, bishop takes f7, the move you saw is actually a checkmate. And the game is just over. Checkmate in two moves. These moves are very easy to think if you're not, are very easy to miss if you're not thinking about them. So my recommendation is every time you see like a lot of pieces attacking each other, think about checks, captures, and threats, and try to anticipate what's happening after those moves. It's normally easy, it takes just a few seconds, but
Mm.
don't make the mistake of like judging the moves because of how they look, because sometimes they look bad, but they are actually really good. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is we are going to shortly, like for just a few seconds, take a look at some of your games, right?
Yikes.
And I will highlight the type of mistakes I see the most, right? And based on those mistakes, I will teach you one or two things that I already have prepared. Um,
Okay.
but overall, analyzing games is one of the best things you can do to understand what things you're doing wrong and how to fix them. Because if you just keep making those mistakes, I tell this a lot to my students, the mistakes become automatic, and there's a moment where you're just playing bad moves and you don't even know why. You don't even understand why. So let's get to it right away. Here we have this game. You're playing with the black pieces. And my first question is, what's your standard reply to the queen's gambit or queen's pawn openings? Do you always go e5? Did
Yeah,
you like?
I saw a gambit on Instagram like a long time ago, and I just stuck with it. I don't even know what it's called, honestly, but
Okay, this one is the England Gambit, and it's
yeah.
okay to play it as long as you feel comfortable with it. Well, here your opponent didn't take, so that's why I didn't get like the whole information if you knew what you were doing, let's say, or not. We are going to talk about openings in a second, so I'm not judging this. This is actually okay. It's playable. Pawn to d5, and then the move c6. Well, c6 is a very interesting move, and there's a lot we can analyze from it, but I am not going to say anything yet. I want to go to the critical moment first. So c6, your opponent plays e4, and we have knight f6, then knight c3, bishop b4. All looks pretty good so far. Your opponent develops the knight to e2. You took at d5. We have this a3 attacking the bishop. You traded on c3, and then you took e4, and after bishop g5, you play this move queen a5. Well, the point is, or my point by analyzing this game, is for you to realize how after 13 moves, right? 13 moves have been played, your opponent's king is safe, castle behind a wall of pawns. He has all of his minor pieces out. Is one queen move away from connecting the rooks and starting to get the majors out.
Mm,
And if we look at your position, your queen is over
terrible.
here, maybe not doing too much, right? You have a lot of weak pawns that they are not going to hold for a long time. See, this one is easy to attack, this one is easy to attack. They are doubled, which means they obstruct each other. You actually don't
Yeah.
have a safe place where to castle, because if you go here, G file is open, if you go here, the C file is open, and you still have a bishop on C8. So this doesn't mean that you don't know probably what to do in the open. I actually believe you do because to analyze, I watched a fragment of one of your streams, and the coincidence was you were actually talking about, well, let me develop my pieces. So you know that in the opening we're supposed to develop the pieces, right? But what people don't understand is this idea of efficiency. Both players are trying to do the same. Your opponent is trying to develop his pieces, you are trying to develop your pieces. And
Mm,
yet, some people develop faster, even though we get the same amount of moves, right? You play one, I play one. So if we both do things right, this is not supposed to happen. So here is the idea of efficiency and what it means. You need to make every single move you play count. Every single move you play must be directed with the intention of achieving these goals that you have. For example, let's say beforehand, before the game, you know that you want to castle kingside, right? Let's say
mm,
your opponent starts with, I don't know, let's say e4. If you want to castle kingside, it's not wise to start with the move b6,
mm,
because what that means is you will have a lot of development in the queen side, but your king side castle plan will be frustrated, will be a little bit slower.
right.
So after the moves e5 and pawn to d5, c6 is not an efficient move. C6 is a move that attacks d5, that's true, but
Mm,
you are pretty much dependent on your opponent taking to be able to get a piece out.
yeah.
If that's the case, well then that's good, but you cannot control what your opponent does. So c6 is a move that just prepares the queen's development. And I don't know if you've heard of this one, but developing the queen too early in the game can be a mistake.
Mm,
Actually, often is the reason why many beginners lose. We are going to talk about that in just a second. So the idea here is, where do I need to castle? Where do I want to protect my king? Is it the queen side? Is it the king side? Let's start working on it. If it's the king side, like in the England gambit, you actually like going there sometimes. Knight f6 seems to be a better move,
yeah.
see? Followed by bishop c5 or even bishop b4, depending on the position. And then we do it right away. We are not hesitating. We are not wasting time wandering around with the pawns and the queen. So after the move c6, your opponent played e4, you play knight f6, which is actually correct, and then you play bishop b4. So you had it right here. You actually
Mm,
had a very good position. Now, the move bishop b4 is at the same time creating something we call a pin.
mm,
A pin, you know probably what it is. You know the knight cannot move because the king is backed in. So what that means is whatever the knight was protecting is actually not defended anymore. So it's a good idea to take a look at these two pawns. Your opponent played the move knight ge2, and this was maybe an opportunity to try to capture this one over here. Boom. Since the knight cannot move, It's totally fine to capture that pawn. But again, my personal recommendation is, well, in the opening, don't go for pawns that look, let's say, don't capture pawns that look dangerous. Actually, focus on completing the opening tasks. Focus on having a safer king. The truth is, if you castle faster, you will attack faster. And attacking is what makes a difference in a chess game. Your opponent's king will be stuck here for the next 3, 4 moves, and that means you can actually start preparing to go after it while it's in mid. Now, uh, in my opinion, the biggest mistake I see in your play, and maybe if you remember this one, you can immediately start getting better positions, is sometimes you capture enemy pieces for no reason. What I'm trying
Mm.
to say is you see the opportunity of capturing something and you go and take it. When the rule actually is, unless you get extra material or some type of immediate benefit, it's actually not a good idea to take.
Mm.
Normally, taking only means that you are losing an important piece or attacker, and your opponent is repositioning some others. Let me give you an example. Apparently, it seems like you're trading the c6 pawn for the d5 pawn, right? But the truth is, when you capture d5, your opponent's d5 pawn gets replaced by another one. The pawn takes is a possibility here. And then you just lost a pawn. When you evaluate this, it's actually hard to find how is it getting or making your position any better. And this applies to piece trades as well. Well, in the game, your opponent actually played a3. See, right now you have a very good bishop that's pinning their knight. See, their knight cannot move. Your bishop is very active, very strong. But if you trade that bishop, notice how their knight gets replaced. Your bishop that was active, was strong, disappeared. And they just lost the knight that was over here, kind of blocking the bishop and not doing a lot of things. Do you get the point right there? They're
Yeah.
actually kind of trading this bishop for this
Mm.
knight. And unless that means you get extra material or something like that, maybe the best solution is let's just go back, keep the pin going, and maybe keep pressing that knight. Think about attacking it in the future with a pawn, with another knight, but always after you castle. There's this strong grandmaster from Russia. His name is Igor Smirnov. I really like his courses and classes. He likes to say, "To take is a mistake." That's kind of his slogan. So whenever you see a piece you can capture, don't just take it right away. Try to think about how's that affecting the position, and unless you see a clear benefit, just don't do it. Keep the pieces over the board. If you're better than your opponent, it's actually easier to win the more pieces you have because the more options he has, and it's easier to make a mistake when you have options. So let's see what happened in this game. After taking c3, you took the e4 pawn, and you've been a little bit busy taking, and that's actually one of the reasons why you got a little bit behind in development. Here, your opponent played the move bishop g5, creating a very annoying pin against your knight, and I believe that's the reason why you thought about moving the queen out of the way. But the problem is that queen is the main defender, not to say the only defender that knight has, in addition to the pawn. If your plan was to castle kingside, and we always need to think about this, by the way, we need to think about where to castle. If your plan was to castle kingside, it's not wise to allow this type of moves because that will destroy your whole pawn structure. The whole reason to or why we castle is to make the king safer by hiding it behind some pawns. So now castling over there wouldn't make sense since your opponent can hit you right away with the queen and some other pieces. Oh, Gregory has something to say? Okay.
Can you, before he goes today, can you show him the area of attack?
The what?
The area to which attack?
Yeah, we can talk about that too.
All right.
Okay, so pretty much that's what happened in this game. Your opponent was able to get the pieces out more efficiently, and well, you try to fight back using your weapons. See that rook trying to hit the king, but even though you're picking the right direction for the attack here, because you're using your open file, using your rook, we need to
Mm.
understand a simple concept. There is absolutely no way we can checkmate only with one piece. Like if you only want attack with one rook, one bishop, one knight, that attack is very likely not succeeding. So we actually need to think about all of these things beforehand. That's why sometimes studying openings and middle games can be useful. So we develop in a way we're actually ready to attack there. Let me actually show you an example. The concept of efficiency is to try to achieve the most you can with a single move. I actually like to show this example. If you play the move g3, you're preparing one piece development, right? The bishop can go out here or here. So it's a good pawn move, but if we go e4 instead, look at this. We are preparing one and two piece developments. So what this means is if I go e4 and you go g6, eventually I will be able to get more pieces out with less moves, if that makes sense. See, I have three pieces out, you have two, and we've played the same amount of moves. Now, to get a new piece out, you probably have to move another pawn. That's a simple idea that actually accumulates. So depending on the opening you want to play, let's say you play the Italian opening because you like that one, right? The Italian opening is this one where white goes bishop c4. The reason why the bishop goes here is often the f7 pawn is weak. So we are not going to attack that pawn right away. We're not ready for it. But in the middle game, it's a very common strategy to see in the Italian opening people targeting that f7 pawn. So see, we are developing in a way it helps our attack later on. That's efficiency. Because if we go, let's say, bishop e2, and then later on we say, oh, f7 is our target, we will need to expend another move in going after f7. If that makes sense. I know it sounds complicated.
No, it's a waste of a move. I got you.
Exactly. Same thing with the Spanish. Okay, in the Spanish, the reason why we go here is we try maybe eliminating this knight so we can get this pawn. That's one of the middle game plans. But you're not going to see people doing it right away. We prepare development, we castle, we get some pieces out, and then later on, we try taking the pawn. But we are developing in a way our pieces are ready for that fight, for that attack. We want to try it later on. Okay, let's quickly jump to the next game to see if we can find some of the mistakes we already saw. Okay, here we have you playing as white, and your opponent played this move queen f6. You actually did pretty well here by developing the bishop. You played bishop c5, and you took c6. See what's happening? After knight takes c6, you're again taking. And I'm not saying this is bad or terrible, but you're not really gaining anything. And you're losing an important knight that was centralized. It was controlling a lot of squares in the middle. Look at this. It covers 8 different squares. So it's a good piece. We cannot say it's bad. Now your opponent is attacking, but your first instinct, your first thought here should be, can I defend it somehow? Can I keep it there and maybe force my opponent to be the one who takes? A very thematic move in this Scotch opening is the move c3. It's pretty standard to try to just control that d4 square. And what happens is if your opponent takes, if he's the one taking now, you can actually gain something. If you capture with a pawn, you will guarantee that you have total central domain. So normally the person who takes first is giving something away. See, when you are the one capturing, you're kind of helping your opponent, and after a second trade, this is move number 7, and black is the second player, right? The one that plays after you. Black has 1 queen out, you have 0 pieces out. So that only means that you made some type of mistake. And that mistake was you captured pieces for no reason. Well, later on, this translates into an easier play for black. They castle, they finish development first, all of their pieces are out. Again, they are not winning, but they are better prepared to start fighting. And, well, what we need to probably think of here is, again, you play the move bishop b5, offering a piece trade. After all of these piece trades happened, you ended up losing this spot, and that's why the game got complicated. There is a strategical idea here that's called opposite side castles. Again, I don't know if you've heard of it, but when you have opposite side castles, actually based on your opponent's game, you can perfectly decide where to play. What's the right direction for an attack? Normally, if we can, we like going after the enemy king. And when you're going after the king that's castled in the flank, one of the best things you can do is to try to get to it with pawns. We call it the pawn storm attack. So moves like a4 or a3 to play b4. Or maybe you protect the knight and then go b4 right away. But what we want pretty much, let me just get some free moves here, is to try to push our pawns till one of them disappears. When one of the pawns disappears, it's relatively easy to start bringing the rooks and lining them up to attack the enemy king, the enemy castle. Now, it's very important to understand where to do this. Like Gregory was mentioning earlier, picking the right direction for the attack means everything to get the victory. You just need to know where can I actually create play based on the pieces I have, and where do I have enemy targets. For example, if I start pushing the kingside pawns, obviously I'm going to lose. Why? Because we don't have any pieces right now there, right? And I don't have an enemy target that's like obvious or super obvious. What's going to happen is they will take our pawn, they will attack our king, and we will very likely get checkmated. So my recommendation is observe your opponent's king, try to figure out where are they castling, and try to develop your pieces in a way you anticipate that or are kind of prepared to attack in the area where the king is at. If the king comes over here, well, then we need to start thinking about how to get pieces to the king side. Maybe a move like queen f3, queen g3. See, we're developing in a way we keep an eye on that king and the right direction for it. In some other cases, they will just stay in the middle. You will find people just like moving the rooks. Well, if that's the case, the direction for the attack will be the center. We'll try to open it up, but it's all about really getting the rooks to attack that king. That's one of the golden rules that you can apply at this level to get a lot of wins. Okay, let's keep going. I had another game to show you. I had two more that I wanted to review. This one was pretty nice overall.
Wait, hold on. Are you only going over losses?
Oh, he likes to do that.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I do know you win a lot.
Okay.
But, you know, we just have limited time.
Yeah, no, you're straight. I was just curious.
I like to highlight the mistakes, right? When you win, you pretty much play well.
When are you leaving?
I'm not sure yet. I'm waiting for somebody to hit me back, but I might be able to stay the full 2 hours, but most likely around like 4:30, but we'll see.
Okay, so I'm playing like GMs and FMs now, and you gotta play this coach, dude. He's like
dog. I want to.
He's like a god.
Okay, so here you're doing pretty well. I just want you to see that your pieces are getting developed, looking at some interesting targets.
Yeah.
Rook e1, that's perfect. You're pointing at that king, and then we have the move d3. Well, maybe d3 is not the most efficient of the moves. Let me explain. If you look at the position right now, you can kind of tell that if a fight starts right now, like if you both start attacking each other, you are going to have a better position. And the reason is their king is in the middle. Their pieces are not really doing a lot right now. So you actually want that fight to start a little bit earlier. And again, the idea of preparing this bishop development is fantastic, but if you go d4, I don't know if you feel like it's a little bit faster. See?
Yeah,
you kind of get in there a little bit faster. If they just move a bishop trying to castle, you can start hitting them with some tactics. Can you find a good move here to start that fight we were talking about?
Yeah, no, I realized that was a bad move. Literally on stream, I said I was like, shit, I should have won d4. But I guess just pinning the knight or to start attacking. Oh yeah,
exactly.
d5. Yeah.
You can d5. That move attacks their knight, and he's using the fact that the pawn is pinned. So the pawn cannot really capture. The king will be in check, and they are actually in trouble. I can say that they are actually losing here. Once the knight moves somewhere, I don't know. Let's give them a random move like b4, e7, e6 will fall. The king is right there, so all of these captures actually mean something. We're opening the king up. See, we have a rook pointing at it, and we will have a winning position pretty early. So here we can say your development was better, was efficient, but then all of a sudden you play this move h3. What this tells me is you weren't sure about what to do now, and that's a very common question. Students tell me, Coach, I don't know. After I develop the pieces, I just don't know what to do. I don't know where to play. I don't know anymore what the right follow-up is going to be. And this is what Gregory was also mentioning earlier. we need to try to anticipate what the right direction for the attack is going to be. So we basically need to pick based on our piece development and our opponent's pieces and the king. I understand that maybe it's hard to know right now because the king is right here at e8. But while we wait, let's try to play an useful move. A move that can maybe help either attack in either direction. Like, I don't know, queen d2. See, we are connecting the rooks. That's one of the most important things. They have freedom. They can move from one place to another really, really fast. And the second our opponent's king castles, we know
Mm-hmm.
well where to attack. The king went to the queen side again. Well, it's maybe the time to start throwing some pawns over there, creating weaknesses and space for the rooks. If we see black maybe trying something like h5, well, that gives us the information. If they are moving this pawn, that means they're probably not castling that way, right? So again, we can actually anticipate that they will probably castle queenside and launch our own pawns. But what happened here was after the move h3, you actually didn't know yet. And the move looks very simple. Sometimes we play it to avoid some background checkmates, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still a move that makes your castle weaker. And look at what your opponent did. He actually went for h6, the best move in the position. You move the bishop, and then we have g5. All of a sudden, their pawns have something we like to call a contact square, the g4 square. Here you move to g3, and he took g3, when actually a move like g4 was really strong. See how that pawn attacks your knight and your pawn? And if that trade happens, see how the g file gets open? Now all black needs to do to win this game is to pretty much castle queenside, bring the rook, and start attacking you. So what I wanted you to learn from this particular example is don't move pawns near your king unless it's absolutely necessary. If you're waiting to see where they castle, if you want to play one of those waiting moves, try to play
Mm-hmm.
one that's kind of efficient and useful, like maybe developing the queen. You had some other ones like this one. You're using the pin that you have, putting pressure on it. But don't just move pawns because that can backfire a little bit if they just castle in the other direction and then throw all of their pawns. And I know I've been talking about losers too much. I just have one more. This is the last one, I promise. You're playing as black. I noticed you like the Sicilian. I like that too. The Sicilian is one of the best defenses to fight e4. But look at what happened here. Your opponent went for d4. It's a common thing in the Sicilian. They break the center. After pawn takes, knight takes. Look at the move you played. Knight takes d4. See, again, we see that mistake of taking when it's not absolutely necessary. It looks like you are achieving a lot, but the only thing that's happening is your opponent has a very nice central control now. That queen is very annoying, to be honest. It's really hard to kick it out, actually, because you've traded the knight that can do that job. So what this means is they have a very active piece, and you've lost your only active piece. If we go back to moves, right now we are kind of even. We're kind of tied. They have one piece out, we have one piece out. And we can actually take the lead if we play a move like knight f6. By the way, this is one of my favorite moves. We are trying to enter the Pelican Sicilian or the Four Knights Sicilian. It's pretty interesting. Here you have other options like e6. Queen c7 can be played, but it's not great. So my two recommendations are e6 or knight f6.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that we need some opening theory study to actually understand what's going on. Yes, Gregory?
Apparently, like no other title player knows about what the Pelican is. I have to call it the Sveshnikov.
Yeah, the Pelican and the Sveshnikov. They are the two. The two names the Sicilian has. This
Where
is
did
actually
you get
very.
the Pelican from?
Well, I'm not sure. I just know it's called the Pelican. I believe it's the last name of someone, but I'm not sure.
Pelican?
Yeah. Pretty much is this defense right here. Very crazy, very theoretical. Hard to understand because you get some weaknesses and you really need to understand why. Like, what's the compensation you get for it? But it's okay to just get two knights out. That's the way I see it, right? We are getting an extra piece out by doing this. Now, if we trade, Well, actually, guess what happened in this game? Look at this. Look at that queen. Boom, boom, boom. The queen took everything. And you allowed that by making it active, right? That queen made your development a lot harder. And again, I know this is a blunder, it's a mistake, but even if you are trying not to make a mistake, even if you try something like knight f6 now, you can probably
Mm.
tell that the position is not lovely. Let's say after a move like e5, you need to start moving, you need to start figuring out what to do with your pieces. So,
Yeah.
golden rule and recommendation from your game analysis based on the mistake I see often is just don't trade unless it's absolutely necessary. Keep the pieces over the board and
Mm.
make every single move count. Now, I would like to show you two very short games.
Oh,
Uh,
can I say something?
yes, go ahead.
FM actually told me something I didn't know, and it's probably so logical that you just thought I knew it. But I had never heard it before because he took the Russian school of chess,
Uh-huh.
and he asked me like what position is better, the same thing you do, but it was based on the amount of squares your pieces control, and he counted them.
Okay, let me explain my point of view on that one. That's called activity. The chess game is based on activity, and I can give you like a whole explanation of why. Let me pull up an empty board. So this is the king, right? The objective is to checkmate the king. If we have one bishop nearby, can we checkmate the king with only one bishop?
Nope.
Impossible. If we have one knight, can we checkmate the king with one knight?
No.
Impossible. If we have a queen, can we checkmate the king with one queen? Still impossible. If the king is like in an empty, like a wide open space like this, it's impossible. So you need more pieces. You need pieces that can control squares, pieces that cover territory. For example, here, see, if we add all of these, we can see that the queen, the rook, and all of these four pieces working together can checkmate the king. So why do we need activity? Why do we need control over squares? So we have access to the best squares for our pieces to get closer to the king and checkmate. So we actually have to fight for these squares because your opponent will be trying to do the same. There are two ways to get more activity than your opponent. Just getting there first or getting there with more pieces.
Right. I was confused because he can't sum up the squares of which two pieces interject.
So what I'm trying to say here is, in a real chess game, you don't really need to like physically count the squares to know who has more activity.
Right.
Just by looking at the pieces, you kind of feel it, right? If it actually means something. So, wasting all of that time in exactly counting, I control 74 squares. That's, that obviously 74 is not a real number, but I don't think it's really practical, if you know what I mean. So the first game I want to show you is Easy. Is actually a very old game. It was played 400 years ago. And we have two players that, are just playing casual chess here. We have this e5 move. It's similar to the gambit you tried. The whole point of this gambit is to sacrifice a pawn to actually gain activity. And that's the whole point of the opening you play. So I thought it was maybe useful to talk about it. We are having our opponent like waste a tempo, waste a move in taking something, and then we use that tempo in developing something. Black is the second player again. How is it possible that they have one piece out and white has zero? Well, because of the gambit. You can actually give away some pawns to make this happen. And well, later on, the plan is to develop the pieces in a way you actually end up taking that pawn back, if possible. But in this particular game, the black piece player had different plans. He actually went for queen h4 check. A move that looks very dangerous, but it's actually very bad. Here, black is making the mistake of developing the queen too early. That's a terrible mistake, and you can actually lose because of it. The reason is the queen is such an important piece that anything can attack it. So we are going to see how the black piece player was actually forced to to move that queen over and over and over after being chased, and wasted so much time that white was able to get his whole development for free. First, we need to block the check, right? Pawn g3, we attack the queen, and then black played his move queen e4. And here's my question to you. That queen is attacking two of our pieces, the pawn and the rook. We need a move that's so efficient that can help us protecting them both, but at the same time, We want it to be a development move. We
Knight
want a new
f3.
piece to come out. Knight f3, very easy, right? And the black piece player goes knight c6. And here it looks like black still has the lead. They have two pieces out, they are attacking our pawn, and it's our turn. But where's the magic? Here we can play a normal move, like maybe bishop g2, say, well, you can have the pawn back, I castle, and I get an okay development. But if you really want to be efficient, you want to play a move that helps your position and makes your opponent's position worse. You really need to put pressure on him so he doesn't develop as fast as you. Can you help me finding a piece that can come out? Knight c3, attacking the queen, very easy. The queen moves to f5, and here we have like the same problem, right? We can play bishop g2, we can play d4, some normal development moves. But we have one, like e4, that really presses our opponent and forces him to move one more time. The game continues with queen e6, and then white is going to repeat the idea. I want you to find what move can help us preparing development or developing pieces while creating threats. But the key is, we want new pieces to come out, new pieces to be prepared to come out. We don't want to move the same piece again. This is a huge mistake as well. You're just helping your opponent's queen to reposition while wasting time, because this knight is not going to checkmate. We just saw that we need 3-4 pieces to do it. So what can we do here?
A piece that's going to threaten the queen again? Or just develop?
Here's the thing. We are going to play a move that prepares some piece developments. It's actually a pawn move that creates a threat.
So d4?
d4. Well, if they do nothing, we go d5 and we fork, right? So guess what? The black piece player moved the queen one more time. What piece can come out attacking it?
Bishop. Bishop c... I mean g5, yeah.
Exactly, defended by the knight. And guess what? Queen has to move again. So what just happened here, after black having two pieces out and us one, was we've been getting in some free moves. I like to call them free moves because we're not really wasting time. We get a piece out, you move your queen. We get a piece out, you move your queen. We get a piece out, you move your queen. And this is what happens every time you do that. Every time you get the queen out, you will be so far behind in development that eventually that will be translated into a deathly checkmate attack. Now, it's actually very instructive to count. This is move number 8, and we have the black queen go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 squares, 6 moves. After 8 turns, the black queen has been moved 6 times. That's definitely not efficient. And here, well, white is going to use a very high level idea. This is advanced, so maybe you can remember it and use it. In the chessboard, there are 2 squares that are considered to be the worst squares for the queens. For the black queen, that square is b2. For the white queen, that square is b7. I actually have a full class about it. The point is, when the queen gets to one of those 2 squares, it's very hard to come back, very hard to get out of there, right? So white knew that, and that's why they play the move a3. a3 is not a move that really prepares any piece developments, but it's definitely forcing the queen to go to a terrible spot like b2. Important to highlight here that if they go to a5, we can still trap and capture the black queen, and I want you to help me doing it. How can we get that queen? How can we trap it in 2 turns? Let's use some forcing moves, some threats that we can predict.
b4?
b4. There's only one available square for the queen. Can you anticipate it? What's the only safe spot the queen has?
I think b6.
b6, right? So here the queen is very sad, very trapped, and we just need to really attack it to get it. We have like 2 ways to do it. Can you find one?
95.
95 does it. Bishop is helping controlling the line square, so that's game over right there. That's why a3 is a forcing move. It forces black to actually take our b2 pawn. And like I said, when you get in here, it's actually very hard to come out. Right now, the black queen only has 3 safe squares. b2, where it's at, is not like in danger immediately. c3, queen can go there and is safe. And b6. Now here's the challenge. I want you to help me finding one move that covers all of those 3 squares at the same time.
Huh.
One move that covers all of them.
I have
Sometimes
no
in
clue.
this, okay, let me help you out then. Sometimes in these cases, we can use a technique that's called the elimination process, right? We want to do something and we just think about the pieces that cannot do it. And then we start eliminating options. For example,
Oh, knight
uh-huh,
a4.
knight a4, you saw it. Oh, we didn't even need to use the elimination process. Now we just cover all of the three squares. The queen cannot escape. And this is game over. They will lose their queen after 10 moves. Important to see too that even if we don't capture the queen, even if we just move the knight to a random square, the simple fact that we dominate the center, that we have more pieces out, and that that queen is completely out of the game is reason enough to say white is winning. Actually, knight b5 was a secondary way of doing things. We are actually trending a very funny checkmate here with the knight and the bishop. That's very, very hard to stop. So I just wanted to show you this game because I noticed that you got the queen out in two of the games and your opponents did. Well, now you know how to punish them. Just try to use the queen to develop pieces. Don't
Yeah.
waste time in attacking it for no reason. Let me highlight this over here. Moves like knight h4, they are bad. See, we are not making progress. We are attacking the queen, but we are not really achieving any new objectives. We are not getting any new pieces out. So find a way to make it efficient. Okay, finally, I wanted to show you this one right here, and then we can do some more practical stuff. Um, this is a very short game that I also like to show a lot. The game starts with the king's gambit, another gambit. They sacrifice that pawn because they want to take over the center. Later on, they take the pawn and they dominate the center and have more pieces out. Well, the thing about the king's gambit is, to me, is a bad opening. And what's a bad opening? A bad opening is an opening that's not efficient, that's not helping you getting the pieces out as soon as possible. And the reason is this pawn is not even blocking any piece development, right? By moving the pawn to f4, we're not really helping any new pieces to come out. And the only thing we do is we make these two diagonals really weak. The black piece player actually played a fantastic move here. He played the move bishop c5. What's bishop c5 doing? Well, is efficiency in a very pure expression. He's developing a piece, but intentionally looking at the weaknesses, intentionally looking at an area of the board where we know the bishop can be useful. It's like if we develop the bishop to d6, well, the bishop is now stuck behind a pawn, and maybe it's
Mhm.
not having a future. Maybe actually we need to move it again to find a good spot for it. But if we move it directly to like the best or the very best diagonal, we're going to be saving some time later on. Well, this is also a trick. Um, and you can probably say, well, that pawn on e5 is free.
Mhm.
And I also just said that developing the queen early is a terrible idea, but there is an exception. Every single rule has an exception. And the exception is simple. If you can use the forcing moves, if you can see a variation where your opponent has no other choice, and you end up getting a checkmate or some type of big advantage, you're actually allowed to take the queen out. And that's the reason why queen h4 wins the game. Because we can exactly predict our opponent's replies, and we have total control of the outcome of this variation. If the king goes to e2, can you find me a checkmate in one? You only have one shot, so try to make it count. Checkmate in one.
F2. Queen F2.
Wrong.
What?
If you go f2, the king escapes over here.
Yeah. Down.
Where is the checkmate in one? Uh, don't
Oh,
worry.
Queen E4.
Queen e4, that's the one. So what that means is we know that white is forced to block with the pawn, otherwise they get checkmated. And now we just take the same pawn and see how the rook at h1 gets taken.
Are you doing that? You only have one move because of me?
No, I just do it in positions where like it's not one or the other. Like when you have like two candidates, I like doing that because if I give you infinite options, you'll eventually find it, right? So pretty much what happens if they take is we capture this h1 rook, we get a nice attack going, and a very good position. The white piece
Yeah.
player realized that, and he just started developing pieces. And all of this looks pretty normal. You can argue that the position looks perfectly fine. But what if I told you that white is absolutely losing already? White is completely lost. Why? White has been developing king side pieces, right? You do
Mm.
that when you want to castle king side. Now, when they were about to castle, they realized that it wasn't even legal. Why? Because we have a bishop positioned on the weak diagonal, a bishop that stops the short castle right away.
Mm.
So this actually means one thing. The white king has to stay in the middle for a long time. Look at this. If you want to castle queenside, you need to move the queen, move the bishop, move the knight, move a pawn to let the
Uh,
bishop out.
so bishop
So
c5 was a long-term advantage.
it's a move that made the white piece player's development less efficient. A
Mm.
move that, despite developing a piece, was creating problems to black. So what that means now is black will castle in the next turn, and black will be ready to counter attack to put pressure on that enemy king that will stay behind in the middle of the board. And that's what happened. White played this move c3, trying or hoping they could block the diagonal and later castle. Black castle first, and then they realized that this move was actually losing. The move d4 is actually helping us opening the position up. Who do you think is getting a better deal if the position gets open and our king is castled and their king is in the middle?
Black.
Who's getting who's getting a better deal if our king is safe, if their king is in the middle and the position gets open, like all of the pawns disappear?
Yeah, black.
Black, right? So here pawn takes pawn, opening
Mm-hmm.
the e file. Pawn takes is a possibility attacking our bishop, but then we just need to be efficient in defense, and I want you to help me doing that. We want a move that protects the bishop, but that creates some type of problem to our opponent as well.
Uh, protects the bishop.
Yeah, let's defend and attack. Defend and attack. Let's do many things at the same time.
Defend and attack.
Think about what white wants to do.
Well, white wants to castle.
White wants to castle.
Uh,
Think about an attacking move if white castles.
Or that stops their castle right away.
I guess you could check.
Exactly. Boom. That
Yeah.
check stops the castle temporarily long enough for us to actually gain an advantage. See, we will knight takes e4 again. Using that pin, the knight cannot move out of the way because we have a bishop.
What if
So
they
it will
block with
be
the
very-
bishop?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good question.
yeah. I was gonna ask.
That's what I was
That's a
thinking. That's why I
possibility.
didn't say it. Yeah.
Oh, that's a possibility too. Well, in this case, the solution is a little bit more complex. So let's go for it. We go bishop takes, anyways. They have to capture with a knight if they want to keep this one safe, right? And here we have two options. We can add pressure to the pawn by bringing the rook. The pawn will collapse, or we can get a little bit tactical here and actually go for one of these two moves. Knight takes, followed by d5 with a fork, and that gives us the same effect of opening everything up, so we can start hitting that king in the middle. See, once they move the knight or they protect the knight somehow, we can start piling up pieces and pieces and pieces on it, using the enemy king as a way to fix the knight to the square. If the knight just runs away, we have this annoying check that will pretty much force the king to move, and the king will stay in the middle for a long time. Or we have the second option, which is we go d5 right away with like this double attack, and once they capture, we can try bringing the rook right now with a check. That will have a similar effect, but if you ask me, I believe taking e4 looks more elegant. I believe it's going to be better here. So actually, after realizing that, white decided to go d3 instead. Black develops the knight. Notice that black, even though he has an advantage, he's not rushing anything. He's not like attacking with a knight and a bishop. No, he's preparing. He's getting ready. He's getting all of the pieces out. to make sure that the attack is actually going to work at the time he starts. Why I decided to go queen e2? The idea is to go bishop e3, trade off the dangerous and annoying dark square bishop to finally castle. And black just played a simple rook e8, and here is where everything went in a wrong direction for white. They thought bishop e3 was actually possible. They thought they were able to get rid of the bishop and finally castle. So this is a very advanced type of position that I like to call a limit position. It's a moment where your advantage is about to disappear and you need to do something about it. If you know you're just better because the king is in the middle of the board and the king is about to get out, about to castle, you better find a way to use that, otherwise the position will be just equal again. The way we use the king in the middle is we point a rook to it and then we clear the file entirely. We make sure that not a single piece is blocking our rook so we can start getting to the king. And we are going to do that in 3 steps. Step number 1, let's eliminate their bishop. This is an easy one. How can we make it happen?
Just trade the bishops.
Yeah, just take it right away. Bishop takes, the queen has to take. Then, let's get rid of these 2 pawns. Let's start by our pawn. How can we get it off the way so the rook can start hitting the e-file better?
D5. Oh.
Our own pawn.
Our pawn, okay. Taking the F4 pawn, yeah.
Exactly. The reason why we like our pawn is because it comes with a threat. Can they castle while the queen is under attack? No. See, we are not giving them time. And now finally, the move you mentioned, d5. It comes with a double attack. See? The bishop has to move. Taking here makes no sense. We can even take it with our queen. We wanted to because of the pin.
Yeah.
And they have to move away. And then we just capture e4. And look at this. We're attacking the knight, attacking the pawn. What happens if they capture?
You can take back with... Oh, the rook.
The rook, boom, and now the king is in danger. The queen is also there. So funny enough, this is a checkmate. Again, we are winning because of the not a checkmate, a fork. We get the queen.
Yeah.
We're winning because of the fork, but let's force just for educational purposes, move the king and say that the queen is not hanging. Just the fact of achieving this, the fact of forcing the king to stay in the middle forever, that's reason enough to win the game. We don't really need to gain the queen. So all of this was possible due to our efficient piece development. That's something I actually want you to try doing right now. We are going to do a practical exercise. I'll send you a challenge. And what I will do pretty much is I will make some inefficient moves that will give you a development advantage. And then I want you to use that development advantage to try to attack first, okay? So let's go, and I will send you a challenge. Let's see if I can do this. 1 second. Challenge will be unrated. You will have to... What's your favorite, like, time control?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Let's do 10 minutes. 1 second. Here.
Real briefly, I saw it gave me a notification for group chat being... it was going to kick us off in like 15 minutes, like 13 minutes ago.
I believe that's because of the AI thing. It counts as an extra person.
I can also just watch his stream too if you need me out.
Can we just join back from the same link, or do we have to set up a new one?
I believe we can join back from the same link. If not, I can just set up a new one. But
okay. I'll try it right now.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
That's good.
Okay, the challenge was sent anyways. You should be able to see it.
Your call-ins in 2 minutes?
Okay.
An hour?
I got it.
Okay, let me stop sharing and share the new one. Let's see what it does. Sometimes it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, maybe just kick out the Firefly thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know if that changes anything. Technical, whatever.
Shall I play it?
Yeah, when you're ready,
okay.
You can go. So like I said, I will be playing some inefficient moves.
Mm-hmm.
And that should give you a better development. Okay. Now, from this moment, I will try to be as efficient as I can with my development.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have questions, feel free to ask during the game.
Okay.
You know, if the call is turned off, we just try to log in again. If not, I'll create a new link and send it to you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Hmm. Damn, I blundered. Ah, shit. It did end. Oh, he'll send me another one. Fuck, I should have went. I moved my knight so because I know he's gonna castle king side, but low key. I'll just move this up. Let me look out for my email. Hmm. Okay. Let's back that up. Don't want to go here and block my rook, so. Yeah, no, we can't join back the same one down. Right, castle king side. As I thought. Just as I thought. I don't want to push this up, but I don't want to push this up because my freaking queen's gonna be stuck defending it. Well, I got a knight defending it too, actually. Oh shit. Okay, I might have to move this. Oh no. Oh fuck. Oh wait, no, I could take. I'm tripping. I could take. She's taking all that. That's right, buddy. That's right. That's right. There's no ways. Okay, let's take this first. Yeah, okay. Okay, wait. Where's the meeting link at? Oh shit, let me look at my chat. You probably dropped it in the chat. My fault, Greg. Oh shit. I didn't even realize how many people was watching. Hey, Command, what's good, bro? I didn't know you was in here. Dude's a god, trust me, I'm already knowing. Bro, where's the link at, dog? Shit. Okay, where are we going? I think we just attack. Yeah, we gonna go there. Attack the knight, attack this. You know what I'm saying? Defend this. All that good stuff. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. I'm overthinking everything because, like, I'm overthinking like a motherfucker, dog. Oh, and it's probably not that bad, but okay. Huh. Where is he trying to go? Okay, well, I want to put my queen on F3, so I'm gonna just go right here. Ooh. Never mind. This is still a good position though. Kinda. Brand new beam, break the car. Okay, hopefully this works. Fuck. Is this gonna work? Fuck. I just blundered. I think. Oh wait, never mind. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm trying to like look out for the link in my email. But I don't see it. Let me just try to join back the old one. I'm on this one. Nope. Boo-hoo. What? He didn't take. Ah, fuck. I can't even take this pawn. This guy is finding a bitch out there and some nigga from the circle sitting sweet. Oh shit. This does not look good at all. Okay, hold up. Hold the fuck up. Shit. Okay, let's just move this up. Okay, I got it. Appreciate you, Greg. This is not the stream. Hey, nobody join that link.
Yeah, he's okay.
There we go.
Hello again.
Hello.
We're playing very well.
Yeah. I
We're
was just
going to
about to
analyze
ask
a
you
few.
how I'm doing so far.
Yeah, you're playing well.
Okay. Let's see. Mm, Okay. Let's get that up out of there.
Mhm.
Bro said 300 games plus. I'm yet to draw. Oh no.
Look, I've drawn other FMs like twice in like 20 matches. This guy, he's like a GM.
I'm knowing.
Not really.
Like I played GM. This guy's a GM.
Not really. That's too much.
He's not an FM, right? He's like a strong tactical IM that studies theatrics.
Oh shit. Okay, hold up. What is the tactic?
What is your tactic here?
This is called Desperado Sacrifice. Well, the
Yep.
bishop was getting captured anyways. Just get something before it disappears.
Okay. Uh, hmm. I don't want to move that pawn. I'm gonna take with the queen. Can't go there. Can't go there. I feel like this free pawn is a trap. Yeah, no, I'm not taking that.
It is. Here you need to deal with the main problem, which is the king is kind of weak. And look at my last move. Every time I play a move, you need to think, what is he trying to do? So the rook was moved to c6. Where's the rook trying to go?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember how chess.com. It's not letting me give you time. That's a good move. It's actually very useful for both attack and defense. If you can manage to control the file with a rook, it'd be good. Now, question is, can I still do this?
Can you share your screen so I can see in real time?
Okay.
Fuck. Oh shit.
Yeah, that was the point. Actually, can you see the screen I'm sharing, or you don't have to wait to see it?
Oh wow.
I want to show you a few things of this game,
How
and
did I
then we
not
can
see
play.
that?
You don't see it?
No, I was talking about something. Let me see. Hold up. Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. The game started like this. You actually dominated the center, but here's the first mistake. Even though this move looks very tempting, right? Because
Mhm.
you are attacking, threatening checkmate threat. There is no way you can checkmate with two pieces this early. Well, we can argue that some sacrifices can be interesting, like bishop takes f7. So if you have enough attackers, you can go all in like this. But because you have a follow up, a concrete follow up, the king takes, you had this knight e5 idea. It could be interesting. You cannot force my king to come out because if I go in, well, maybe the tactic that we saw in the game pops up. Can you find a winning move for white?
Mhm.
Come on, bigchess.com puzzle right there.
Boom, check. And then you go for knight takes g6 or any of these possibilities. If the pawn takes, you get a checkmate. If not, you get the rook. That's a possibility. That's very crazy and it's possible. But overall, like if you don't have like a concrete variation, the best way to continue here is just to keep developing. Make sure your development advantage and control over the board is overwhelming. Like you have all of the pieces out before you actually launch an attack against the king. Because look at what happened. After knight e5, I play e6. It's a move that helps me developing and stops your attack right away, right?
How much?
Yeah.
How much of a tempo did you give him? 3, 4, 3, 4?
Probably like three. So what happened here is after e6, and because of your knight being at e5, I get like a second move that's kind of useful for development. Again, my position is not great. I'm behind a few moves, but I'm kind of kicking the knight away. Now you need to waste a defensive move, right? You have to waste a move in just protecting the knight without achieving anything new. And I am still opening spaces for my pieces. So right now I am being efficient, and you have to just go back. And that happened a few times. Bishop g5, bishop e7, all of this was pretty good. Knight c6. You managed to develop first, then h6, you have to move the bishop, a6, and then you probably had to move the bishop too because you noticed that b5 was coming. I still play b5. See, a4 is maybe a move that puts some pressure on b5, and if I trade, you get a good position, but
Mhm.
I'm not forced to trade. I can actually go b4, and that forces you to make a defensive move, to waste a little bit of time. All of those like tiny moments where I can get two or three things done with that single move is what got me back into the game. Now, what was the right approach? Like over here, I still believe you're good. Now we need to start thinking about what our advantage is. Right now, your biggest advantage is your king is castle, my king is in the middle. You have the pieces better prepared for the battle. You must start the battle. You need pieces to be fighting. The way to do that is something we call a pawn break. We need pawns to start attacking each other. And again, moves like maybe d4, d5, maybe preparing e5 or just sacrificing and going e5 right away could be kind of interesting. But the reason why you're a little bit slow here in the attack is actually that in move number, let me see, number 6, you were a little bit inefficient. See, the pawn is not as fast as we need it to be later on. So if we know we are in a position where maybe the central attack or the attack is going to be the way to go, let's go d4. Let's dominate the center. If we are given all of this space, let's take it. If we get the same position with the pawn at d4, with something like this pretty much,
Mhm.
castle, we have h6, this, I played a6, you play bishop b3, b4, queen d2, something like this, more or less. See, your pawn at d4 helps you being a little bit faster, helps you getting there on time.
Mhm.
So what I want you to do, we're going to try something similar again. What I want you to do now is to think about that, not just about getting pieces out. Let's think about a way to get them out, but preparing for a potential attack based on the idea that my king will be in the middle for a long time, right? Because I'm being slow in development. So let's go again. Let me just send you a rematch. Let's
I
try one
bet.
more time. Mhm.
Black. Okay.
Okay, let's get to it. That's cool. Very interesting move. I believe it works.
Yeah, you're already playing better than anyone you're playing against at your level.
It's that FM effect.
That FM effect. And don't worry, this guy's beaten me like down a queen too, like multiple times.
We can try that one too. Okay, let me explain a little bit of my analysis now. I
Okay.
know that because you castle that way, your pawns are a little bit over pushed, right? In that queen side. So if I launch an attack there, if I go like a3, c3, it should be relatively easy for me to get things open. I also know that many of your pieces are in that queen side. So the attack in the king side is a little bit slow. I'm not saying it's impossible because you have some pieces ready for it, but I can actually try to castle here, and then we have one of these opposite side castle fights. Now you have a very interesting idea to try to fight back, which is to maybe accelerate the move g5. Right now it's not possible because the knight hangs at f6. But if you can get like g5, g4 in, your attack will be really fast. So think about moves. They can help you getting that maybe done. Because you're still better. You're dominating the center. You have more space. Whenever you have space, it's relatively easier to get attacks going.
When I started training with Alejandro, the contact square thing just absolutely is a monster kind of idea.
Yeah. Here, I'm not sure if you noticed the rook was hanging or if it was a willing sacrifice you tried.
Shit.
Well, actually, let me tell you that the sacrifice is interesting because, it's like a way to accelerate things. I'll take it to see how it goes, but I believe you're still in the game here. And taking that knight is not healthy for me. I will try other things. Let's see. I have some funny tactics here that I didn't see earlier. You actually have a very nice tactic here. Let me think. Well, central control is the base of any attack. If I challenge your central control a little bit, maybe I can survive.
Okay. Let's see.
Now we have somebody trying to join the call. Maybe one of your viewers.
Oh no. What name does it say?
Let me see. The name is Ubiwe Mikawana.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Hey, nobody join the chat. I mean, nobody join the call, dog.
Don't worry.
I'm trying to think of like a tactic here. If I take, just move
you
it
have
back.
some interesting ideas. Yeah. I'll give you a hint. Everything works if my f3 knight wasn't there. That knight is called sometimes the guardian dog because it's a very, very good defender of that h2 square. So think about a way to get rid of the f3 knight. You may have some attack chances. Like if that knight wasn't there, bishop g1 is kind of win.
I think I might even have an idea here.
him think. We can analyze at the end.
Shit, man. Taking this pawn does nothing. My bishop is fucking trapped.
But don't think everything is bad, because you do have some interesting like tactics you can try. But it's all about the f3 knight. You need to find a way to get rid of that one.
Do you think it's
Yeah.
like? Okay, let me assume here, if I can. Is it just under like plus 2.5 for white? You think?
Who knows, Greg? That's very hard. Okay, before that move, let me move it back here my screen if you can see it. I believe you had moves like e5, interesting, just with a single intention of going e4, getting rid of the knight. Or this idea you were calculating probably knight takes f2 check, followed by g4 was pretty interesting. I know you're sacrificing a lot of material, but it seems dangerous. Okay, let's see what's going on now here.
Can I input something that might be wrong?
Go ahead.
I was thinking of knight takes e3, and then g4.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing but f2 is like a more useful pawn for the defense. So that's why I thought about that one. But again, e3 maybe interesting.
Why would I take on e3? He can take back with the queen.
Yeah, true, but then
because
g4.
it opens a file. It provokes the attack with the pawns. It opens the file and pushes your knight back.
But yeah, it's interesting here. I'm actually in trouble, I believe.
Yeah, right. He's being generous when he says that.
Well, it's difficult to defend that.
I just didn't want to lose
right.
a pawn.
You're right, though. This guy is like freaking Hikaru when it comes to defending.
Best defense is an attack. Let's go. Let's try that and see if it works.
So you want me to emphasize on here? But why?
Just remember what we talked about. Think about traits and how they affect the position. And think if you are the one getting the benefit or not. And you make the decision based on that.
Okay, I'm gonna take.
You've got to have like 8 different GM level tactics here. I mean, everything is just lining up for you, John. Your bishops, your rook, his king on the edge file, your pawn advantage towards storm breaking.
And don't put pressure on him. Let him think, so see if he can find. Oh, that's a good move. It's one that I was looking at for a while.
What's up?
That's a very good move. Actually, not a good move. I thought it was good, but then I noticed that I can take the rook with check. Sadly, that saves the day.
Jesus.
It was part of one of my defensive ideas, but I kind of forgot about it. Yeah, now everything starts falling apart.
Yup, it's over. God damn. Bro, I left both my rooks hanging, dog. Jesus Christ.
And the funny thing is, in the same diagonal. Yeah.
Oh no. It's over. It's over. Jeez.
Yeah, now it's over. Let's take a look at what happened here.
Uh,
I actually believed you were probably winning at some point here. Like that move, knight g4, I really like it. I like the g5 idea. But maybe if instead of g5 we go e5 first, to putting ourselves in that position of having e4 ready whenever we need to, just to
mm,
kick the knight away. I believe that was the move. Like here it's very hard to stop e4. I probably have to go e4 myself, but then that gives you some other options. Like you can try opening the file and targeting my queen. You can try f5 just to harass the pawn and go forward. It's all about kicking the knight out. If that knight wasn't there, let me show you how many tactics I was looking at. After you play g5 takes, and actually the reason why I played d4 is this one. My initial idea was to go for c3, trying to, open up and fight over here. But then you have check, similar to what you did in the game. And after the king moves, I was thinking about this crazy move, bishop g1. Let's look at it for a
mm.
second. Maybe it doesn't work, but the whole point is we are freeing the square for the queen, right? That's the ultimate goal. Now, the only piece that stops that immediate checkmate is the knight. So the knight cannot take. If it does, it's checkmate right away. Queen h2, boom. Now, if the rook takes, you also have a checkmate, because that rook was the only piece protecting f2. Knight takes f2, also a fun semi-smothered checkmate. So what that tells you is the king is the only one that can take. And now the idea was, well, if this knight is the only thing standing between you and checkmate, maybe we can jump in with this other knight, try to trade it off, and then come in with the queen. I was thinking about this for a while, and it seemed a little bit hard to counterattack here. But I also thought, what if you do it before even sacrificing the bishop? Like you just go here.
Maybe it's common knowledge between you titled GMs and stuff, but apparently like the knight f3 and the knight f6 kind of knights,
Mm-hmm.
they never say it's the most defensive piece.
It's one of the best pieces, yeah. There's a Spanish master I like watching. They calls it the guardian dog. And whenever you don't see that guardian dog, it's easy to attack h2, h7. But whenever you see it, try to get rid of it, like e5, e4. Think about all of those moves that will get rid of the knight. Let's turn the computer on and see what it has to say. Like before g5,
Wow.
the likes moves like d4 or f5. But I'm sure e5 was interesting as well. See?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which human is going to find knight g5 here? That's just such a crazy move for a human to see. But you see, the point is, if we get to e4, that knight will have to go.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Okay, let's try one more time if you want to, or we can try other exercise.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, wait, John, did you say you wanted to practice endgames?
Yeah, I want to practice endgame, bro. I suck at endgames, especially like rook endgames.
Rook endgames, huh?
Terrible.
We can take a look at some of them. By the way, rook endgames are the hardest endgames. And the most common endgames as well. A lot of people forget about the rooks. They just don't move them. So, since they don't get traded, they survive all the way to the end of the game. And it's relatively easy to see rook endgames. I can show you a few examples that I like about endgames. Overall, endgame play is about knowing what the goals are, like what things you're supposed to be doing.
Can I,
Yes.
after the lesson with him, and if he wants to join, can I show you one thing? I sent that game to that IM, Coach Andres,
Mm-hmm.
the guy you beat.
Nah, don't say that.
We'll always say that. But he gave me an interesting endgame tactic in that game that I thought was. I haven't even looked at it yet, but it seemed winning, but it didn't seem like the most prominent winning move to me. But it did
Anyway,
seem it seemed extreme.
we can take a look at it at the end.
Okay.
So he's developing a lot better now. All of the pieces are like they have a purpose. Yeah, exactly. To attack the
He's
middle.
going for the center. Yeah.
Now here's the thing. When you attack the center and if your intention is to get it open,
Mm-hmm.
you have to play a move that's impossible to reply with a closing move. Let me try to explain. You need to make sure the center is getting open. Because if I can play like e5 here, see
Mm-hmm.
how all of a sudden all of your pieces are misplaced. See the bishop at b3, not doing much. The knights are going to be stuck. The dark square bishop is again going to struggle a little bit. That's kind of even. Like I am in the same situation, but it buys me some time to get out of the middle. So only play those pawn breaks when you make sure they actually break. They actually open things up. Now, recommendation: you should try to get rid of that e5 pawn if possible. Maybe by trying an f4 pawn break, something like that, or going in the opposite direction with like c4, c5. But it's going to be difficult now.
This would be the time to kind of go on with the opening strategy, of which pawn breaks I know very little about.
Too many things for one day, you know. The human brain cannot, learn all of it in just one class. But I believe he's playing a lot better already. Like I see better piece developments. The pieces have like a purpose of it all. And yeah, we can check out end games after this one.
And John, if you have time afterwards, what I like to do when I started coaching
Yeah.
is I loved playing chess after coaching. It made you a much better player throughout the day.
Oh yeah. No, I'm already knowing. I can actually stay the whole lesson though. I got until 6, so we straight.
It gets you in the groove. It gets your knowledge in the groove. It gets you looking for things. It's great.
Hmm.
This. Okay.
God, it's so weird looking from Alejandro's point of view. Looks like a normal game, but he's so insane when he plays me.
See, here is one of those cases where you need to select the right direction for the attack. So, knight b5. You're aiming for the queen side. So that should mean that you have some plan there. Or maybe you are trying to just go to d4. If your idea is to go to d4, good job. That's a good move. If your idea was just to put pressure on that c7 pawn, maybe it's not great. Because in my opinion, you should be aiming for the king side.
Yeah.
Since you have more space there due to your e4 pawn. So maybe moves like queen f3, queen g3, or maybe a rook lift, like rook a3, rook g3. Look at that crazy one. rook e3, rook g3. Like moving pieces to the king side should be the right way to go. I see all of those coming, and I notice that I am not in good shape if the attack starts. If you start the attack, so I need counterplay. I need some action. That's why I will try very weird looking moves like c6, trying to open things up a bit. When the center is unstable, it's actually hard to go for a flank attack. Because you need pieces kind of helping out in the middle.
Okay. Bishop takes. Takes. No. Jesus. Jesus.
Yep.
So many
it's
things
tricky.
to think about. Too many things to think about.
You're still better, I believe.
What's so crazy about this position is if he just traded his light squared bishop for your knight there, this would almost be like a Magnus Carlsen kind of GM game.
No, I think that's bad, Gregory. That light square bishop is
Well, yeah, I mean
too
yours is
good.
better, but if you did, that would be the position of a GM game.
I don't know why you call it a GM game. It's just a normal game.
I don't know any game against you.
But yeah, it's very interesting.
Of course, it's normal to
strategical-
him.
That's a very interesting move, yep.
What did you do? You won the Penta America Classic or
Huh?
something?
Me?
Yeah,
Nah.
2013.
I played under 15 Pan American. I was
Pan
13.
American.
I was like third place, I think.
When
again,
did you
you know.
when did you get your first title of CM?
Well, in my country, that's not even a title. We don't really use it. When I used to live in Cuba, but CM is 2200 VD, right?
Uh-huh.
I got that one in 2014, I believe, 2014.
Were you
I
like
was-
12?
14.
Oh, okay. You know, that FM I drew said I'd be like 1500 feet.
Nah, don't say that. Chess is hard. Actually, my belief is anyone can beat anyone. Like, even if you're a 1500, if
okay.
you play a very good game, you can beat anyone.
I have been watching more like 2200s and IMs versus Magnus Carlsen. And I asked you the question of you versus Hikaru, and you said you could probably win and draw 10 games, something like that.
10 games out of 1,000, maybe.
100.
Nah, that guy's too good.
Well, I mean, I play a lot of people that have beaten Hikaru, but if you played 100 games versus Magnus, how many do you think you'd win? 5?
I'm not sure, but I believe I should have a chance in at least one of them. Like,
1?
Bro, he's the greatest in the world, dog. What do you expect?
That's fucking insane.
in history, I believe.
Literally.
Insane. What about today? Like, not in his prime?
I'm
you
not
still
in my
consider-
prime neither.
If you started playing realistically, you'd be in your prime.
Well, I'm not sure. Out of 100 games, I
You're
should be
very
able to win.
defensive, and you're very you go over a lot of tactics.
Okay, I'll give you an example. I use to train with a coach that's very strong. His name is Henry. He's almost a grandmaster, like 2550, 2 GM norms, very strong. And we used to play every single day, like 30, 40 games. I,
30, 40.
I never ever was able to beat him. I just
What?
got draws. But to be fair, at the time I was like 14 years old. He was 2500. I was 2100. So it gets tricky, you know.
Well, I mean, I've beaten 2,200 players. I've even drawn against your level of people now.
It depends on the style too. Like some people can just win against you without thinking because their way of playing is very uncomfortable for you.
Yeah, I don't think that FM studied the theatrical tactics you have really, really put hard into studying. I think if he studied those GM kind of tactics, that he would demolish me. But he hasn't. Surprisingly, as an FM.
No.
It's interesting. I do believe if anyone plays like a good game, you can have good results. Actually, if I remember right, Magnus was beat by a 2000 right, a player in
What?
one of those Olympiads.
No,
Or-
he wasn't.
Well, do some research. I believe he was beat by somebody, or maybe it was Anand. I believe it was Anand.
Anand?
Anand, yeah, lost against a 2050 on one of those Olympiads. He
Really?
just, yeah. Somebody lost against one of those guys. And then
What's that?
Magnus drew or lost at 2400 against the 2400 one time.
I just recently saw on Instagram, because I just made one, Anand reapplied for the candidates after he lost the world championship, and he won it.
I don't remember. I'm very bad at chess history. So I'm not sure.
Where would you put Did you say you put Kramnik above Anand?
I don't think so. I believe
No?
Anna.
Oh.
Bad news. It's out in the last minute. Okay, let's call it a draw here, so I can show you quickly two or
Yeah.
three tricks
Okay.
of end games. Let's see how I send that again.
Can I send my game?
I want send it, but let me show him the.
I'll send it on chess.com. And the IM said I should have played A4 where I played B3.
We'll talk about it in a second. Yeah, let me give you my endgame recommendation in a second.
Jesus Christ.
We're not going to study like a lot of endgame.
I need to. Jesus Christ, you went over the Philidor with me one time. Still
Yeah,
lost.
those rook endgames are very tricky.
Oh my gosh. The simplest of rook end games are the hardest.
You should see like the classroom invite coming up right now.
Let me see. Hold up.
If you don't remember, just go to chess.com. Then in the left
Go to learn?
side, yeah, you see learn, then classroom.
Okay, I got it.
That's a very cool feature because if I wanted you to move the pieces, I can just click a button and you can do it. It's pretty useful. Okay, I actually borrowed this explanation, this initial introduction.
Can you share screen?
Yeah. From another grandmaster, again the same guy, Smirnov. I really like his courses, his classes. But here's the thing.
Russian guy, right?
Yeah, here's what he explains. This right here, this position you're looking at, is a fragment of a game played between two war champions. We have Emmanuel Lasker with the black pieces and Jose Raul Capablanca with the white pieces. For those who don't know, well, Lasker, the second war champion in chess history, Capablanca, the third. They were both known to be very good endgame players. Actually, Capablanca is considered to be one of the greatest endgame players of all times.
Wait.
Yes?
Oh, I think you're right, but I just saw a video today of Capablanca. He went on the radio to talk about his game with Emu and Lasker because they played shit, did they not?
I'm not sure. Again, I was very bad at chess history. Well, here's my point. The point is not who was playing. The point is we have two players that were known to be good at endgames, right? And this is the theoretical position where white is winning.
I love
The
black.
key here, the key of the position is black. Well, actually, here right now, this is a draw. But if black makes a mistake, then it's winning. Well, I'm not going to explain all of the insights, but basically, black is if they stop the white king from reaching the eighth rank. If the white king reaches the eighth rank, it should be a very easy win by transposing to one of those Lucena's bridge. But one second, Gregory. But the problem is if white tries to like block king like this with a rook, what black will do is check the king forever. We check forever, and as soon as the king moves away from the pawn, the the black king gets closer. And see how it's very hard for them to save it now. If the pawn
Mm.
advances, we just take it with our rook. And if they try to defend with the rook, well, there are a ton of checks. We can try again. Check, 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 check. Or if we just want to get this over with, we can try the check and we collect the pawn. And it's a simple draw. So this guy, like I said, Lasker was considered to be good at endgames. Capablanca was considered to be good at endgames. Look at what Lasker did. He played rook a6, totally allowing Capablanca to win the game right away. But Capablanca, again, another endgame monster, played rook d7. So what I'm trying to explain here is, and this is the logic behind this position, you don't really need to know all of the theoretical positions to be good at endgames. The truth is, you just need theory for 15% of the endgame positions.
It's all
You're not
theoretical learning.
always going exactly. You're not always going to get one of those positions that's already studied. What's better and what these two players had actually is general understanding of how to play them. And that's what I wanted to show you here with this example I really like.
Yeah, to explain this point further,
Uh-huh.
Magnus just in a Tidal Tuesday game against like a 2600 rated player in FM, I think, just pointed out the bridge, and he pointed out a perfect bridge technique, which is very rare to get.
Again, I'm not saying theory is not useful. What I'm saying is it's very unlikely that you will get one of these theoretical positions like right away. And you should prioritize general understanding of how to play endgames. And I
Does
believe
that-
this is... Yes?
Oh, can the theoreticals help you with the rook endgames?
Of course.
Okay.
But again, if you have limited time, for example, we just have a few minutes left, I should prioritize, I believe we should prioritize the Go ahead.
If you want to extend it another hour, I can. If John's
Well,
okay with it, if you're okay with it.
I am not sure I can. I have a few things
You
to
got a
do
girlfriend, okay.
Yeah, I gotta go at 6-2
So-
anyways.
So here's the thing. In endgames, people sometimes aim for the wrong things. I will actually prove it to you. This is a position where it's white's turn. I want you to think about it for a while, and when you're ready, just tell me a move that you believe is correct here. A move that's maybe
said the best move
right
for
way
white?
to go. Uh-huh. Maybe you're not winning. There is no like winning tactic right away here. It's just a position that's more like normal and slow. We don't have anything like way too exciting happening.
Can I get a hint? Is it winning a piece or like check, like towards checkmate?
That's the thing. There is no winning thing. It's just a normal chess position. Imagine you and I are playing here, and it's your
Do you
turn
get
to
a
play as
hint
white.
when you play?
That's what I like to say. That's why he's saying it. You don't really get hints, right? So we need to practice like if this was a real game.
For whites.
Just a normal move, and don't be afraid of making a mistake because it's actually okay. We all
Oh,
make
what the hell?
make
Is
tons
the
of-
bishop not hanging?
which one?
The h3 bishop. Oh wait, I'm tripping. I'm thinking. Never mind. Shit. I guess A4. I know
Ah,
it's probably
why?
wrong, but it's a passing pawn.
Oh, that's very, very good actually. That's the answer. But let me tell you, I've shown this position to hundreds of students, including our friend Gregory here, and everybody gets it wrong. Let me explain. A
That's
lot
the
of people,
answer.
that's the answer, A4.
What do you? What about G5?
Exactly, that's what you said when I showed it to you, and that's wrong. Let me explain. Let me explain. Many people think in endgames we're supposed to checkmate or attack a piece or trap a piece. Well, unless you see a forcing line where that happens, that's actually wrong. In endgames, we have not enough pieces to go for a checkmate attack. So we need to get new pieces. How do we get new pieces? Promoting pawns. So there are two things you need to do. You need to focus on what pawns are easier to push and try to promote, and what pawns are maybe easier to capture. Because sometimes, let's edit the position a little bit. Let's say there was a pawn here, right?
Hmm.
Then a4 doesn't make a lot of sense
Yeah.
because it's blocked. But we can actually work to try to make it pass, like you said earlier, maybe rook b6, try to take that pawn. So there are two plans. Advanced pawns, top priority, pawns that can potentially become queens. Number two, capture pawns that block the pawns that have the potential to become queens.
Mm.
And well, then the whole strategy is to play around that. If you go a4, in the game actually black played rook a8, trying to stop it, all you need to do is to work for that pawn. The pawn is like the star player of this team.
Yeah.
We need to work around it, and the rook is stopping it from advancing or
So
making
rook
it harder.
A1.
Interesting. You need to really be
Oh
careful with those
yeah.
bishops.
Shit, then let's just be snipers, yo.
Exactly. But we can do something about it. Actually, it's very useful to just trade pieces off the board when you have pawns that are passed. Because think about it, the only thing that can stop your pawns are the enemy pieces. If
Mhm.
they have no pieces, then you just win, right? So one move comes to mind. How
Um.
can we trade pieces off? Pieces that are stopping our promotion.
I mean, right now the horse is still kind of defending it, so you can't just keep push it up one more square at least.
True, you can go one more square.
Okay, well,
Uh,
we gotta go over the G5 line too.
we'll go over it in a second. We'll go over it in a second. But the second thing you can try, and you can even do it after this, is let's just go rook e8. Let's make sure that
Oh
rook is
yeah.
completely out of the equation. See, after the rook trade happens, see how the pawn is a lot faster and is, of course, a lot harder to stop it.
Mm.
So that's all we need to do in endgames. Think about what pawns to push, what pawns to promote. And golden rule here. Often the king is necessary for that quest. There's a very fun position I like to show. Just give me 1 second.
Look at this guy's study profile. Fucking insane.
Well, here the king. This example right here. See, this is an endgame where white is thinking about what pawns to push, what pawns to promote, what pawns to attack. White is up the pawn.
Yeah.
The majority, the advantage we have is like in the queen side, right? So that should tell you that we must aim for pushing the queen side pawns. But that is actually a really hard thing to do due to we have opposite color bishops. At the second we like put our pawns on light squares, this bishop can be really annoying and try to attack them and take them. Also, is very hard just with these two pieces to outplay the rook, the bishop, the king. So we must use our king. In many chess books, you find people saying, well, the king goes to the center in endgames. And I actually disagree. The king is supposed to go to wherever pawns are. King is good to protect pawns and to attack pawns. Look at what white did to win this endgame. All he did was bringing the king over here to f4, step number one. The king right here is very good defending all of this, making sure they don't get captured. And then after that, the white piece player went for pawn takes h5. The only thing that does, it creates a weakness, a path. A path for who? Actually for the king. King went to f5, then infiltrated and started taking all of the enemy pawns. And one of the most important things we need to remember is the same thing I said earlier. You don't really checkmate easily in endgames. So don't be afraid of getting checkmated because the king is actually very powerful to attack in these positions. I know this looks really ugly. Gregory has a question, and I am 100% sure that's about a discover attack possibility. But the
No,
truth is,
it's the initial position, and
okay,
you can already tell my move.
okay. What's the move you suggest?
Come on, you already know it.
G5?
No.
I don't know. F4? What's your
No.
move, Gregory?
Come on.
Pawn takes right away?
No. B4.
Well, I don't even know. B4?
Is that not also winning and doing the same thing, but also restricting black
No,
at the same time?
that's a terrible move, Gregory. Let me explain. The reason is, when you push the B pawn, you get yourself in a situation where 2 pawns are fixing 3. See? So it's like you're not ever moving this C pawn ever again. If I put my bishop like over there,
Oh, so you're relying on that side of the board to win a pawn.
yeah, but the pawn you should try pushing is C4. And like I said, it's not possible right away. So the only thing White did was sneaking in with the king. He ended up taking H5 and winning with this pawn. So in conclusion, to play endgames, all you need to do is find targets, find pawns that are not protected by pawns. Try to hit them. Find pawns that are easier to push and push them. If you follow those two ideas, you will play a lot better endgames. Of course, there's theory we need to learn.
Can I go over one line here a little bit later on after the discover check?
Well, I'm actually... Well, let's see the discovery check. The discovery check is funny. Here,
is there
black...
rookie 2?
That's a possibility. But rookie 2, I just keep advancing. See, the king can be so dangerous. You get checkmated at the end. Or, the funny one is rook e3. So I would like asking Jaw here what to do. See, the problem is, if we go for f6, f3 gets taken. So what can we do here to be efficient and defend against this check in a way?
King G6.
In a way we actually... Yeah, go ahead.
King G6.
That's a possibility, but then I just take your pawn and see how everything starts getting complicated now because this rook is very active.
He's got a pass pawn.
Think efficiency. What's the piece giving the check? How can we stop it with some type of threats or some type of pressure, let's say?
Oh, King F4.
Well, if we go King F4, we're kind of returning to the square we were at. So I go back, and we kind of get in this repetition position. You go up, I go down, you go up. See, we repeat two or three times. So we need to do something that breaks that loop.
Is this like plus 1.5 for white?
This is like plus 10.
What?
And you just win right away.
I was thinking King G6 at first, so you could take the H pawn, but
that's a possibility. But again, if the black king, well, actually, there are a few funny things they can try. I guess this is kind of winning too. What can I say? Maybe they can try to.
This should be like a perfect draw, no?
Got you. But the truth is, there's an easier way. Look at this simple move. Boom. Rook takes d7.
Jesus Christ.
Why? Because your rook is also under attack. So if you take mine, I take yours. And I get the extra bishop. Or, if you try this check, I just need to go to a square where I attack your rook as well.
Yeah.
Can you find it?
Yeah, E4.
E4. So if you take, I take, and then we just get a winning position. So that's all I wanted to say about endgames. Keep trying. You're doing very well. I actually checked your profile, and you've been increasing your rating a lot. That means you are playing better. You're learning very fast about the game. Just try to apply these few tips.
He's got a good intuition, I think.
It's been a roller coaster for sure. Definitely been a roller coaster.
And then, well, let's quickly, before I go, let's take a look at what Gregory wanted to say.
Oh, you have an example? No.
Wait, what is this?
G5, Gregory. Well, I can just move my bishop, I guess, somewhere. just for fun. Let's see, where do I put it? Where do I put it? Let's put it
G7.
here.
G7.
What's your move now, Gregory? What's the point? See, I don't know if you see it.
I mean, you have 97, right? 97, King H8.
Yeah, 1 check, 2-0. We keep going, nothing really happened.
Dang it.
See, you're going for a checkmate in a position where you have no pieces, and g5 can have some serious consequences. Your bishop is now stuck here,
Right.
and it's never ever helping. So you need to be careful with those type of decisions. They can affect the whole ending. See, it was a lot easier what he did. A4, A5, Rook B8, the straight rooks. Let's promote a new queen. Let's win with the queen when we know we have the firepower for it. So that's the reason why g5 was good. So what's the game you wanted to look at before I...
The draw with my FM.
The draw with your FM.
The most recent one. I sent him to the IM guy you beat, and he said, besides B3 in the end game we had, that A4 would have been much stronger. I think the computer disagreed a little bit, if I recall. I think it wanted to allow the king movement. I think even I went over it with you.
Okay, I believe I have it. Just give me 1 second to load this. Share game.
I don't even look like an idiot.
If you want to do it another time, we can also check it.
No, you're fine.
Ah, my bad. I loaded the wrong thing.
I don't believe this is a normal IM. This is crazy. You're like GM level.
Again, don't say that. GMs are very, very tough.
You're like strong IM level.
Okay, let's see what you did here. We have fill the work. We have this very well studied. Actually, do you remember what I said here? F3 is a move we like, but we are actually aiming for development first.
Right. I mean, I thought it didn't really matter.
But it does matter, because if you go here, then D5 is a move, and they break your center before you're ready for it, and that can be an issue. I'd recommend Bishop E3 better. But after F3, actually after Bishop E3, you're also having like this trap. A lot of people like jumping and hitting your bishop. But then you just go Bishop F4, which is not a terrible spot.
That's also a book move, yeah.
And then you get F3 with tempo on the knight. The knight has to go back. So that's the first thing. But again, now you play Bishop F4. This should be winning 100% for you. G4, H5. See, white to go to E3.
Look, I know you're going to say something about my queen D2 move. Just skip past it.
Why?
Just
So, your opponent is moving a pawn, making D6 weak, right? So why are you moving pressure away from it?
Actually, the IM didn't. This is apparently theoretical with the B5, C5 moves.
This is bad. I can prove it to you with 1 click. See? This is good. Well, now the computer says Queen D3 is the best move. Who knows why? I do like Queen D2. Just keeping the pressure here. Like, it's very, very hard.
Later on, trust me.
But again, you know, people play their lines, so we are not going to criticize him. Queen E3, Queen A5. Yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, I was late to the B1, King B2 move, B1 move. And I guess that kind of supported the Knight D4, 5 first.
I actually like what you did. I remember this.
Yeah, Queen D2.
Maybe not trading queens.
Queen F2.
Yeah, Queen F2. Let's keep the pieces over the board. If you want to attack, you need pieces, right? So I believe the call is going to end again. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. But pretty much what you are supposed to do here, Gregory, is keep the queen, push the pawns, and you should be winning. There's no way his attack is getting there before George does. Plus, you have the pieces for it. He just has a queen. We just talked about it, right? A single piece is not checkmating. Do not trade queens. But I know that you were probably aiming for a draw. It was a FIDE master. So you actually got a very nice attack going. Few piece straights. And see, this is what happened to you in that
Yeah, was C4 okay?
Of
Before
course.
it was arcade?
Yeah, I believe you are like.
Oh, goddamn. Well, class over. Class over, chat. Shit. But I mean, I had to go anyways. Wow, that was great. Damn, I wanted to ask him like where I could like contact him so I could actually order it. Like that was actually kind of fucking helpful. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna rewatch this stream like for my own benefits, and y'all should too. Y'all should rewatch this stream. I'm not trying to get like free views or anything, but y'all should definitely rewatch this. He said farewell, for sure, for sure. Yeah, let me know how I could contact him, or if it's just better through email. I think I got his email. I'll just like ask him for more lessons. But after I finish my my real estate midterm, cause boy oh boy, whew, that is some shit coming up. Yeah, I got his email. Garcia.chess. What are your thoughts on it? It was helpful, dog. It was hella helpful. It was hella helpful. And he doesn't go too fast like my fucking real estate teacher. Like, she'll just be spitting shit out before you even get a chance to say I understand. Like, he moves pretty, even though he kind of be going fast a little bit. It's not like to a point where you're not understanding shit. Well, it's two different worlds, I guess. But man, that was helpful though. I would actually have a lesson with him. Them 2 hours went by kind of fast. I'm not gonna lie. He had me overthinking like, but like in my 1v1 against him, he had me overthinking like shit, dog. Like it was no, I thought I had to think of like a million things. I'm like, bro, okay, if I put my piece here, can I get this? Like, I had to think of like 100 things. I think my very first game against him, I did like a lot better. And so I got fucking, I mean, you gotta realize he did have like a 3-move advantage on me, but still. But that's kind of crazy. It just goes to show like it's levels to this shit, dog. It's levels to this shit, man. Bro had a 3-move advantage on me and it still like cooked my ass. Like I literally forgot he had a whole 3-move advantage like once he started playing. But it was helpful though, for sure. I'm gonna reach out after my midterm and I'm what do you call it? Pay for some lessons. And soon enough, y'all gonna see a FM next to my name. Know what I'm saying? Shit, maybe a GM. No, I'm playing. Niggas got a life. Can't be getting no GM title and a girlfriend. Definitely can't get no GM. I probably can't get no FM. Hey man, we gonna see. We gonna see. But yeah, I do gotta head out though. I gotta start getting ready because I'm about to go to Top Golf. If y'all know what that is. But yeah, I highly suggest y'all rewatch this. I hope it was helpful to y'all as much as it was helpful to me. And then just, you feel me? Just practice. Practice makes perfect. You feel me? Alright, yeah. Oh, damn. What do I want to say? Oh, what do I want to say? I forgot. It like my thought just disappeared out my brain. But whatever. Hey, appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all know the drill. If you haven't joined the Discord already, make sure you join the Discord in the description. And yeah, have a good rest of y'all day. Remember, y'all could achieve anything. Love all y'all. Stay blessed. All that good stuff. Appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out.